Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Libby No Niche, and today I'm going to be showing you how I painted this Monstera leaf with watercolor. This is my most viewed short form video I have ever done in my life across all my platforms, so I figured it was about time for me to give you guys a full length tutorial. So do all the things, follow me, subscribe, get notifications, whatever. And if you want to shop, I have a shop, libbynonichellc.etsy.com, and grab your watercolor paints. Let's get started. So it all starts with the paper. I'm using my Strathmore 9x12 paper, 300 GSM, 140 pound cold press. I love this, but you can use whatever you like. This is the star of the show here, the Pilot Friction pen. It is a magical pen. If you don't have it, that's okay. You can use a pencil and eraser. I have my Gravy watercolor palette. I have my Castle watercolor paints, and then I have whatever's on my palette that we're going to be using, water, and then I'm using round brushes for this. Of course, we have to do some research, okay? Do you even know what a Monstera leaf looks like if you don't Google it really quick? I'm just kidding. If you have one, you can use yours as a reference, but if you don't have one, that's okay. Just go online and remember what a Monstera looks like and pull some inspiration. You can do more heart-shaped or more piecey ones. So I'm going in with my Pilot Friction pen here, and I'm drawing a long but kind of wide heart shape for the outside of the Monstera leaf, and then I drew the middle there. I'm being very careful not to add too much pressure, because with pressure, it indents the watercolor paper, and then it will pull there and have more color and look kind of weird. The magic thing about this Pilot Friction pen is that it is erasable and it has a special thermal ink. So once I use my heat gun, it will completely disappear. It's watercolor's best kept secret. This is not sponsored, but if Pilot Friction ever wants to work with me, hit me up, girl. I will work with you. Watercolor artists that have their life together use a spray bottle to activate their paints. I just dip my brush into some water and I put it all over the paint colors I want. You want to really activate your watercolor paints because it will get you the juiciest colors. Time to paint, let's go. So each little section of the Monstera leaf, I'm treating as its own painting. So I'm going in first and I'm doing wet on wet for just those little sections, and then I'm adding various different shades of green. Sometimes we're gonna do yellow, sometimes we're gonna do blue, sometimes we're gonna do a sap green, sometimes we're gonna do a hooker's green, whatever. Now I'm being methodical about this because we're doing wet on wet and I don't want to use my heat gun to help me dry anything until I'm ready for my thermal ink to be gone. We are going to do every other little section of this Monstera leaf so that the wet on wet doesn't turn into one big pile of goop. Anytime there is like a hole in the Monstera leaf or like a cutout, I really want to accentuate that. So I'm trying to add more pigment there. And then I'm also trying to add more pigment towards the center of the leaf. So like kind of where the stem would be. And then on the edges to try to add some dimension there and make it like the leaves have a shape to them. They're not just flat, they are curved. This first layer being wet on wet can be your messiest layer. So if you have to redefine the shapes, that's okay. If you don't have the Pilot Friction pen and you are just using a pencil and an eraser, you can just avoid the pencil completely and just paint right around it. That will create a really pretty effect. Or if you are going to paint over the pencil, make sure that you are using light pressure and that you're painting like darker pigment right over it so you don't see the pencil lines. The wet on wet magic literally does everything for you. It blends the colors so beautifully. So I started this little section here with a bunch of yellow, and then I'm going in with blue, and you can see it turning into green right there on the page. And that, my friend, is watercolor magic. For this section, I'm actually using my neon yellow and neon green, and then I'm using like a dark black green and mixing that together. And I feel like it just really creates such unique coloring effects that I couldn't replicate these even if I tried. The thing I really like about green is that it can go so many different directions. Like you can do straight green out of the tube, you can do green with yellow, you can do green with blue. There's just so many things you can do. You can also make it more like earthy and mix it with brown or black, or you can use complementary colors if you would like, and you could mix like a red in here and really get a really pretty green. So now that we've gone through the Monstera leaf and we've painted every other little section, they are dry enough now that I can go in between. So you have a couple different options here. You can try to make it so that your space between your Monstera sections is open, or you can have yours touching like mine do. But the first little areas are dry. So I'm going in now and I'm doing the same thing I did for the first layer, which is going wet on wet. And then I'm mixing a bunch of different greens, yellows, blues, browns, all the things, yellow ochre, neon yellow, neon green, whatever. And I'm adding more pigment towards the center of the Monstera leaf or the edges to really define each of those shapes. Have you ever had a Monstera plant? I will tell you a fun story about me having a Monstera plant. I think this is a perfect opportunity while we fill in the rest of these little pieces of the Monstera leaf. So I went to, oh, I love that blue. Oh, check it out. So with the top and the edges, I'm really trying to define like the heart shape. And as you can see, when I sketched out the Monstera leaf, I didn't just draw the lines straight. I kind of made it look like they kind of have like a curve to them, and so I'm following that to really give it the movement and the illusion that it's not just a flat object. But anyway, I was going to the dentist and me and my dentist were totally hitting it off. She had so many plants in her office and I was just complimenting them because they all looked so beautiful. And so we talked about how we're both plant moms, and then the next time that I went to the dentist, she literally brought me a Monstera plant. Is that not the sweetest thing ever? What a nice plant friend. And I had it and it got actually really big. It got kind of unruly, so I had to get rid of it. And then I didn't have one for a while. Then my aunt gave me a like Swiss Monstera plant, so now I have one again, but it's like a lot smaller, so I feel like I'm gonna be able to keep it for a while before it gets unruly. But they can get huge. So at the very bottom, I'm going in with like very dark pigment just because it's so small, and I really want to try to maintain that like point because I feel like it's very important for the general shape of the Monstera leaf to have that sharp point. Hello, my heat gun friend. So I'm using a heat gun to make this dry faster. I have to do it off camera because my heat gun cord does not reach to my filming area, but get ready, all the black lines gone. I did burn my page a little bit, whatever. If I go to make prints, I can totally get rid of that. This painting's just for me and for this video. But as you can see, all the black lines that I used the Pilot Friction pen for are literally gone. That's thermal ink magic. So this is our second layer for the watercolor painting as a whole. Now this layer we're approaching a lot differently than the first layer. So the first layer was wet on wet, loose, have fun, mix your colors, do your thing. This layer, you have to be a little bit more careful. So we're going in wet on dry. We're not wetting the whole area this time. We're just taking the paint and we're being very careful with our round brush and placing it where we want it. So like I said, I like to really define the middle, the edges, and then anytime I have like a cutout or like a weird shape, I want to accentuate that. So I'm going in with like different shades of green, blue, etc., and I'm redefining those areas. Then I'm going in and I'm wetting my brush and then I'm blending it so that we don't have any harsh edges, because in nature you don't really have like harsh edges. Now this is fun because it's still adding different dimension to this Monstera leaf. You're adding more shades of green. They're gonna interact with the layer underneath. Like, it's so fun. There's so many surprises that are still ahead of you at this point in the painting. Also, if there's any like little bits that you just don't really like, you can like totally paint over them and it's just like no biggie. So have at it, have fun. This is also where I like to make certain leaves look, or sections of the leaf look like they're on top of other ones. So for example, this one right here, I'm redefining that little hole and then I tried to make it look like it was like on top of everything. Then I'm going in and I'm softening those edges so that it's nice and pretty. And you can still see all like the blue on this one, yellow, everything underneath. And you can do this as many times as you want. You can keep going over and over and over and creating more layers, or you don't have to do the second layer at all. But I feel like just doing another little layer to really add some more depth and dimension really just makes this Monstera leaf pop off the page. A hot tip for this is whenever you are going over with your second, third, fourth layers, whatever, however many you want to do, my best artist advice is to not do the exact same thing for each little section. You can do whatever you want. This is your painting. But in my opinion, it looks more natural to have some of the shapes more defined, some of the shapes less defined. But you wouldn't want to necessarily leave half of them totally untouched unless you just did such a gentle second layer. But I'm going in pretty heavy handed and really redefining some of these sections of the leaf here. So then for the ones I don't want to go overboard with, I'm just redefining a little bit on the edge and using a super light touch, and then in the middle or the edge or around the holes and stuff. But it would look weird if you didn't touch any of some of them, but then you super duper defined other ones. So just use your judgment, play around here, have fun. If you've made it this far, you probably have a really cute Monstera painting that you're looking at, and I hope that you love it. I have to let this dry or make it dry with a heat gun, and there you have it, a watercolor Monstera leaf. If you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more watercolor content, let me know in the comments, and if you do recreate this at home, I would love to see it, so feel free to tag me on all my socials at LibbyNoNiche. Again, thank you for watching, and have a great day.